I debated on whether or not I should make this video, and as this creator that we're going to talk about today kept coming up on my For You feed, I have finally had enough. I have finally decided that, you know what, I'm going to just bring awareness to this because the messaging and just the content this creator is posting is toxic, is unhealthy, is disturbing, and I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this skinny talk community on TikTok, and we need to shut it down. We need to shut it down. This video is going to be a little shorter today just because I don't want to promote her messaging. I don't want to show you guys all of her videos. I don't want to react to them. I don't want to do anything. This video is just to bring awareness to the type of content this person is posting, and I'm just over it. It needs to be addressed. If you do see this type of content, please just not interested. Like, don't listen to it because it's not healthy and it can do a lot of damage if it lands on the wrong ears. So enjoy today's shorter video. Just know that you are so loved. You are worth more than what you put in your body. You're worth more than what you look like. And you don't need to listen to all of this fear-mongering propaganda that's online. So there's a little corner on TikTok right now called Skinny Motivation. And basically what this is that creators are posting their what they eat in a day, what they do in a day as a skinny queen, just so much of their lives, and this type of content that's framed as like a motivational pep talk, but all it is telling you that you can't eat this and you can't eat that because you have goals and that you want to be seen as the object of everyone's desires. And one of the main faces of this type of content is a creator named Brooke Molly. I don't know if that's her last name, but for the remainder of this video, we are going to be calling her Brooke. Her username is Brooke Molly. I don't know. I'm assuming it's Brooke Molly, but anyway. She's known for posting short, sharp monologues about why you don't need to eat the cookie, why skinny is the goal, and how having standards means having a certain look or being thin. But let's talk about it because this is not motivation. It's a repackaged body shaming, and we need to call it what it is. The scary thing is, and this is what gets me, the scary thing is that I don't see anybody in her comment section criticizing anything she's saying. It's all supporters. And this is why I'm thinking this is so dangerous, because we do not need to be hyping up this level of toxic thinking. Instead, we need to be shutting it down because honestly, this is nothing but damaging people. The fact that TikTok even lets this kind of content be on social media is insane to me. It's a problem, and we need to have a chat with TikTok because this is not okay. But even TikTok knows that this whole skinny influencer thing is toxic, is unhealthy, could be triggering to people, because if you type in skinny influencer or skinny talk in the TikTok search bar, it will literally block the page and give you links and resources to help with AED, for example. So TikTok knows that this type of content is not good. If you search anything to do with skinny talk in the community, it will shut it down. It won't let you see anything. But these creators are sneaky. They're sneaky and they know exactly what to put, so then their content is still shown to people. I don't know how they do it, but I know they do it. So what is Brooke actually posting? I did share a clip of what she said in my last video a few weeks ago about skinny talk, and I'll play a little clip of it here now so you know what I'm talking about.
Skinny is the outfit. Being skinny sends a message. You respect yourself. You prioritize yourself. You don't put yourself last. It's not just hot, it's high value, because skinny cannot be bought. You can't swipe your card. There's no add to cart for self-discipline. You look expensive because you are expensive. You've got standards and they show. Anyone can go and buy a designer bag, but not everyone can walk into a room looking like the bag. You're gonna look like a Target bag or a Birkin. Remember that next time you're choosing between the cravings and the version of you that turns heads and sends a message without even saying a word.
But basically her videos are styled like confident, fast talking affirmations, like very assertive as well. She's got this assertive tone to her. It makes you want to listen to her because she presents herself like she's in a position of authority. But instead of empowering people to feel good in their bodies, to actually implement healthy habits, she says things like,
comfort food is a lie. It comforts you for half a second and then it betrays you. Start rewarding yourself with things that actually improve your life. Ask yourself, does this make me hotter? Does this make my life better? If the answer is no, it's not a reward. It's a distraction. Every time you're eating, pretend like you're on the beach, sitting in a bikini. That thought alone is enough to make you drop the snack. Being hot needs to be your priority. Here's why. Do you want people to pay attention to you? Do you want people to listen to you when you talk? You want to make more money? Cool, then let's talk about why you need to be hot. You need higher standards. Skinny is the outfit. The message that it sends is instant. Before you even open your mouth, People know. You take care of yourself. You live by standards. When you look good and you know you look good, the world shifts. People treat you better. You get more yeses, more respect, more opportunity. Not because you're shallow, because people perceive you as someone who takes care of herself and has high standards.
She calls it high standards and positions thinness as the ultimate symbol of discipline, class, and self-worth. And for her, it's not just a personal goal, it's something she's telling everybody else to chase. And what truly scares me about this content is the fact that so many people find it inspiring. So many people find it motivating. So many people listen to her advice. And I feel like this is because it gives the illusion of control in a world where it's so chaotic, where we literally have no control. The one thing people can control is how much they're eating. And so I feel like that's why people are clinging to this so hard, because that's an easy choice we make every single day. And in a world that feels out of control, this helps people take a little bit of control back into their lives. But that mindset, it's so dangerous.
Just to respond to the pro skinny talkers who are like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I'm so happy when I'm skinny. Like, I've never been happier in my life. There's a problem with that. If your worth, if your sense of belonging, if your sense of identity, if your sense of control is all wrapped up in your body and being skinny, at some point, if you lose that, you are going to fall apart and have a freaking mental breakdown. Mine happened to the bathroom floor when I was 25 after 5 years of being skinny and realizing that it was actually making my life hell. Yours might be when you're 50 and you wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, other than being skinny, what am I? Like, what is my identity? I want to clarify, there's nothing wrong with existing in a smaller body. There's something wrong with changing your life so much and focusing your brain so much on being skinny that things fall apart. Your relationships fall apart. Your sense of self falls apart. Your faith falls apart. Your community falls apart. Like, there's something wrong. If you start to notice you're scared to go out to dinner with your friends, if you start to notice that if you don't know the macros in something, you can't eat it. If you start to notice that the hot chocolate that you drank as a kid or the ice cream you had as a kid is actually terrifying to you now, there's a problem. And listen, the healthified version does not count. Just wanted to clarify.
This is the same mindset that fuels EDs, body obsession, and the constant feeling of never feeling like you're good enough. It's not discipline. It's deprivation dressed up like motivation. And a lot of you guys watching this might not find anything wrong with her content. And that's the issue. I feel like there's so much that's so wrong with this content, and people are so sucked into skinny talk right now that they just can't see it. They can't see it. Life is not meant to be so restrictive. It gives you the feeling of control, but in fact, you're just entrapping yourself even more. It encourages this black and white thinking when in fact, this type of thing is never black and white. It trains your brain to associate feeding these cravings or eating a certain type of food with failure, whereas thinness and being skinny and eating all the clean foods is filled with virtue. And when girls and boys as young as 11, which you shouldn't be on TikTok if you're under 11, but it does happen. When they're scrolling this content, okay, let's say it comes up on their For You feed. Yes, it's their parents' job to make sure that they're not on TikTok and monitor what they're watching, but that's not always what happens. So inevitably, when young girls or boys come across this content, what are they learning? That their worth is directly tied to what they're eating, what they look like, and how much space they take up. What Brooke is doing is reviving early 2000s pro Anna Tumblr, but making it trendy again. With a glossy, confident delivery, she's basically like a Liv Schmidt wannabe, and it's just another toxic take on diet culture. One thing that Brooke talks a lot about is standards, but I want to talk about whose standards we're talking about, because who decided that being a certain size makes you any more worthy of being desired and loved and appreciated and respected or seen as valuable? What she's promoting, it's not about standards. It's not about you having high standards. And she says everyone's going to be gravitated towards you. You're going to be the center of attention. That's basically the gist of why she's promoting this content. And let's be honest, no one actually gives a flying flip. If you walk in the room, they're going to glance maybe a second and then they're going to go on their merry way. They're not paying as much attention to you as you are to yourself.
I mean this in the best way possible. No one cares about what you're saying or what you're doing or how you look as much as you do. The phenomenon of thinking that people care is called the spotlight effect. And I talk to my clients about this often and help them get over this paralyzing mindset. We are the center of our own world. So everything that we think about or do or say is over magnified in our own minds. And we think that people are noticing those exact same things. But those people are the center of their own worlds and have the same exact thoughts about themselves. So no one is paying as close attention as you think they are. No one really cares. And if they do care or they do notice, they're probably moving on to the next thing that is focused around them very, very quickly. This concept has been so helpful for me as a former overthinker and people pleaser. And I think it's a true foundational pillar of building this real, unshakable inner confidence. So the next time you think you're saying something stupid, or you think you look a certain way, or you're doubting yourself to the point of feeling paralyzed, please remember that no one really cares and no one is as focused on you as you are. It's so freaking liberating. Keep this in mind as you go about your day, and I hope this is helpful.
These are not standards. They're just insecurities that have been passed down through media, culture, and now influencers. There's a big difference with choosing to nourish your body in a healthy way and listening to somebody guilting you on TikTok saying that you aren't worth a dime, basically, if you aren't skinny. What is really interesting about Brooke in particular is the fact that she hasn't been making this content forever. I scrolled back on her page just to see when this sort of toxic content began. I'd say she really just dived into this like earlier this year. Like, this is very new content for her to be making. And I feel like because it is doing so well, or I guess catching a lot of attention, she's just been remaking the same content over and over. But when you look back on her page, even from last year, she seemed like a really down-to-earth, normal person. Yes, she still was like the influencer vibe, but she had her own coffee shop. She was just vlogging her day-to-day life. And while there was like some skinny queen comments in there, for the most part, she seemed pretty down-to-earth. And so I'm just wondering why this sudden shift, like even her personality and the way she talked changes. Okay, so I'm just including this video that she posted on August 25th, 2024. So honestly, not that long ago, but it just is kind of ironic that she's posting this video. Like, don't believe everything on Diet Talk. We're going to see what she says, but it's just hilarious that she posted this and then she switched her content and started becoming so pushy on her own beliefs in the diet culture sphere and in the most toxic version of Diet Talk. And this is before she started posting all of the skinny motivation videos as well. So it's just funny how not that long ago she posted this and then now it's a completely different story. So let's watch this video. We're going to listen to what she says. And you guys have already seen the newish type of content that she's posting. So I'm not going to play anything after this, but let's just watch this and see how different she is.
Be careful about what you listen to on TikTok for dieting advice, because you really just need to try stuff and see if it works for you. I've been hearing for quite a while that fasting is so bad for you, for women. It's bad for your hormones, it messes you up. But I'm going to Hawaii this week and I have been trying everything, like eating so healthy, salads, oatmeal, breakfast, steps, like every single thing, eating so clean, no sugar. And then I was thinking, I was like, what did I used to do when I was super skinny? And it hit me, I used to fast until 11, but I ate like shit. Okay, so the past few days I've been fasting and my stomach has not been this flat and I can't even tell you how long. So it's only a couple days in, but I'm going to keep doing it and see if I still feel this good. I don't know why I stopped. I think I just heard that it was bad for you. So honestly, you just need to try stuff and see what works for you and stop listening to every single person that claims they're an expert, because for so long everyone was like, fasting's good, and then they were like, nope, if you're a girl, don't fast. So try it for yourself and make your own opinion.
And it made me wonder, like, what kind of happened behind the scenes to make her start making this content? Did she just decide to make this random video one day and see it did really well? And so she just kept doing that content over and over and over again because, you know, as an influencer, if you find something that does really well, you kind of repurpose that and do that over and over again because you've kind of found your niche. So I guess she's found her niche, not a very great one, but I think that's one of the driving forces in her continuing to make this kind of content, because it's getting views, it's getting clicks, therefore she's getting paid. So who knows if she actually believes the stuff she's saying. She was living a healthier lifestyle prior to this content too. But who knows if it's actually authentically what she thinks, or if she's just promoting this messaging for the sake of getting views and clout. No one will really know. No one will really know. Either way, regardless of her intentions for making this content, whether they're actually authentic or just rage bait, I do think that it's really toxic and damaging to viewers. And the fact that she has so many supporters really makes me concerned. I'm going to be really honest. This video is really hard for me to get through because I've had times in my life where I have been influenced to restrict myself. And so talking about this is really difficult because the fact that so many people think this is okay when it's not okay is really concerning to me and really sad. And the fact that so many people are going through the same thing and thinking, you know, you can't have balance in your life. You can't go out and eat something fun with your friends. You have to think about your goals and your calories and just be so obsessive with food. It's not normal. It's not normal. There needs to be balance in life. There needs to be balance, and what Brooke is promoting is anything but balance. It's all about restriction. If your self-worth is entirely reliant on your pant size, your diet, how pretty you look while you're restricting yourself and not eating that donut today, that's not motivation, that's not empowerment. That's a prison. You deserve more from life than skinny queen, skinny girl discipline. You deserve peace. Peace with food, with your life, with your body. Because doing what she's saying, yes, you might look skinny or you might lose weight, which you will because you're restricting yourself. But all you're doing is putting yourself in a prison and robbing yourself of the peace that you so deserve in life, that everybody yearns for. If you want true freedom, balance is where true freedom lives, not in extremes, not in skipping meals, not in being restrictive with yourself, not in having this black and white thinking, not obsessing over your looks or pretending you're above cravings. Real health, real healthy living means listening to your physical, mental, emotional states and giving your body what it needs, but also not demonizing yourself when you want something fun or something sweet or want to go out with friends and not have to worry about eating a salad. We all have our own comfort meals. Are you going to restrict yourself from what brings you comfort because you're too worried about what calories you're putting in your body? Being disciplined does not mean being obsessed with what you're putting in your body, obsessed with your goals, obsessed with losing even one fraction of progress. And having goals does not mean cutting out joy. And if you listen to Brookes Content, that's what you're going to be doing, is cutting out what makes you happy, things that bring you comfort. And I'm not promoting like eating unhealthily. I just think balance is key to life. There's a reason why bodybuilders and a whole bunch of fitness influencers have cheat days, because they know that restricting yourself to this extreme is not healthy and can lead to so many other issues that are so much more dangerous than just eating an extra carb or eating some more calories. Living a life of fear-based restriction is not actually healthy. It's just small, and you deserve so much more than a small life. If this kind of content has ever made you feel like your body is a problem or a project to be worked on, you're not alone. We do not need skinny motivation. We just need real motivation built on grace, truth, and a whole lot more than aesthetics, because at the end of the day, aesthetics do not matter. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have you seen this type of content pop up on your For You page recently with the rise of skinny talk? I want to know how it's made you feel, and any advice that you have to anybody who may be going through something really, really difficult. Just leave it down below. Let's talk about it. Let's just spread awareness. God bless you all. And until next time.